Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Paddling Pool number 380. We are golden for this. Have I just been gone this entire time? I don't know. I don't know. Slat, what's up, man?
You look, can I be honest? The entire time I planned, I didn't hear a single word you said. I heard, what's up, man? Today we got golden, and that's all I heard. So I don't know what's going on. All I do know is right now we've got some episodes of Mahi Mahi Resort here.
Yeah. Welcome to Paddling Pool 380. We are golden. I'm Frostix. Slat is on the mic with me, and we're here in winners bracket. We're here in Alpha brackets, round 1.6. Baldwin will return in Avengers Doomsday versus yours Snipesley, and already Baldwin will return is taking an immediate comeback, taking this lead, getting a really solid stagger onto yours Snipesley.
It's not a big deal if you get the zone in the first couple 30 seconds of the match, if you only get 4 points in. Because that just immediately, it's not that far of a lead you have to get past in order to take. And honestly, Baldwin will return is doing a great job at keeping your Snipesley out. As you can see, they basically set up like a perimeter right there in front of that snipe. So they literally can't get out. Although it's not perfectly as they are starting to stagger here. The wipeout happens here, Frostix.
Hey, we're seeing the Decapitator trying to take some immediate initiative. The Mini over here has their hammer ready to go. There's also a bubble in the back pocket of the Decapitator. I think that's Umbrella on your Snipesley going down. Even still, the rest of the team is holding up the paint lines, but there's two members down now. It's only the Decav, not even the Decav, it's only a Pisto on this V-Mini holding down the line with this hammer. The hammer has been thrown, not claiming any targets. The zone staying in neutral. Baldwin will return is not going to be capping it, at least not until these strikes fly out. So now we now have Baldwin will return trying to keep things up. They are cruising past the 30 threshold. They're into the 20s. Your Snipesy is now picking up some tacticooler, but even still, Rusty is watching the drops here. A splashdown is coming out as well, cutting off space. Zone is now into neutral as Baldwin will return is trying to find their return and their comeback. Your Snipesley now will be right back into control. And now, they're still in control at the moment. Episto throwing out their hammer, trying to get the pick onto Enamel, who's still alive, and is able to drop the cooler for the rest of Baldwin will return. Rusty trying to take the islands, but they're noticed by Episto, as well as 10 feet 20. Someone jumping out, that is Jason, to play over to Rusty. They're a little bit slow on this retake, and that a bit of time that has been stalled has allowed, I think that's your Snipesley, to break out into the 30 thresholds here at 39. Right before Baldwin will return with a wipeout and with a 39 penalty on top of the 39 score. Your Snipesley has work to do, but not just them. Baldwin also has some work to do. They have their strikes ready to go. They immediately get rid of the Decapitator. That's a very smart move, getting rid of their frontline Slayer. Team has the jetpack. They will be popping it, getting rid of, I think that's the pencil. A pistol going down on Baldwin will return. The strikes come out, though, from Jason, and as Baldwin will be taking the lead. Yeah, I think that's a lot better, Slide.
Hello, everybody. I am back. So sorry about that. I just had a mess with my mic settings. Miss Frostix.
Well, right now, your Snipesley is in... The lead is very, very narrow. It's 39-32. Baldwin will return, is in the lead. But right now, your Snipesley is making clean work of the team in Cyan.
It looks like they're about to take the lead if Baldwin will return, doesn't get in as they lose the lead. Honestly, if they can get some specials up right now, with a minute and 30 seconds left, they have time to get in. They just need to get some picks to take the zone. We see an ultra step come out from the side of your Snipesley. It goes out, doesn't get any picks. We see some strikes stop the zone and switch it over back to Baldwin will return. And with the last minute and 15 seconds left here, Frostix, if they can hold, it literally is anybody's game at this point, it looks like.
Yes, I think Baldwin just needs to have a really solid hold right now, and they've already done a lot, getting rid of 2. IPS is trying to get rid of 10 feet 20, but no, Enamel will be taking that pick, and all members of Baldwin will return are tightly knit. Rusty is now onto the field, getting shut down by Episto, but Episto is half health here. They need to back off, lest they go down to Rusty, who takes down 2. They are now out of their penalty. IPS has popped the crab, but 10 feet 20, recapping the zone with just the decav and the bubble alone, adding more penalty and stalling out Baldwin's time.
Yeah, honestly, a really good push there. And with 36 left, that was like the perfect time to do it. Honestly, all they really need to do now is hold. Like, and if they do take again, they have such a big penalty, and with the extra 11 points remaining, it will give your Snipesley a chance to even just get back in, even if they get locked down 2 or 3 people to get back in. Like, as we see the strikes come out, trying to desperately take the zone, not quite able to do it. They get knocked down to 3, and in the last 10 seconds, Frostix, your Snipesley just has control of the zone, and there's just the blaster trying to get in, and it looks like they might not be able to stop it here.
Yeah, it's 3 seconds and Namel's gone down. It's only IPS on the zone here. And it's really, I'd say it's really tragic because you had Rusty being a blaster, being the one of the first people to hit zone before it was all over.
Yeah.
But a blaster without that splashdown, because the blaster without that splashdown can't paint a lot. And then with Enamel going down, such a heavy painter like this, but that, like the pencil going down as well, it's really, really unfortunate for Baldwin in their last shot. And so that's your Snipesley taking game 1.
And honestly, sorry, I had to back away for a bit during that first match to fix my mic. Thank you guys for pointing it out. So sorry that you guys couldn't hear me. It's not the first time someone said that recently, and I didn't know how to figure it out, so thank you. But now that we're here, we're in it.
I mean, to be fair,
no, go ahead.
I was opening and I completely lagged out as well, so you're not the only one.
And then I started talking, and it was... And it was wonderful. I love that. Well, enough about that. Let's go get some ramen, Frostix. Let's head to Robo Ramen Splat Zones.
Of course. Very tried and true staple zones map right now. And here's the cameras. They're live. I feel like I need to get a haircut, but who knows? It's now match point.
I think you look fine.
Thank you. If your Snipesley takes this, they will be moving forward into semifinals here. They're still sticking with their comp, that Sorella, really interesting to bring into the fray. Meanwhile, Baldwin also not changing things up here. I feel like Rusty could play really well here with just the AoE shenanigans that they can get up to. Same thing with IPS. There's a lot of really solid crab spots on Robo Ramen.
Absolutely. There are not only good crab spots, I think there are good just like Explo, Hydra, and like just like backline spots in general on this map. But also you do have to remember there are also so many ways to get to the zone. There's like what 6 different paths you can take. Like you can climb up literally on every side of this wall. It's the reason I love this map so much personally.
Yes. The flexibility that retakes offer you. It's why Robo Ramen was kind of praised when it first was released. And right now your Snipesley is trying to break out here. They do get rid of both 10 feet 20 as well as team, potentially a Pisto as well. It's only Comrade left on the pencil. 10 feet 20 is dropped in. Same thing with Term. The zone is dead neutral, but is returned back to green. And now your Snipesley needs to recap this. Thanks to IPS's Crab, they could put up some solid paint, but just look at the paint being output by Baldwin. They're already in the 30 threshold and pushing 20.
Honestly, really good hold for the first like minute 15 seconds there, but with the push they just got, your Snipesley should be able to set up pretty nicely here. And if I was Baldwin, will return into Avengers Doomsday, like I'd be careful, but also like they kind of got staggered back, so they gotta like be aggressive to push in here.
Yeah, they really need to dial up the aggression right now here. They're not really moving forward into elbow here, and then I think that just allowed a Pisto to just clear forward with this stamp, get that hammer throw, not claim any targets. IPS has now popped a forward crab here, getting rid of a Pisto, almost getting rid of Term, putting a lot of chip damage, and allowing your Snipesley to take the lead. And they still spot out this Decapitator here, allowing Rusty to get the alley-oop pick. And if anything, your Snipesley, without even pushing that deep, are poised to knock out. They're in the single digits. Baldwin needs to cap, and they need to cap this fast. Zone's in neutral, and 10 feet 20 with this bubble will allow the rest of Baldwin to get the flip.
That was crazy. Just like, literally like, last second grab from Baldwin when we're returning to Avengers Doomsday. I mean, like, they won the first game. They're like, well, we want to win, so no. And unfortunately, your Snipesley throws out the strikes to counter, but it doesn't really do much other than just stall for just a little longer. Honestly, the zone is very close to flipping, and like we said, look, there's no one's in control currently. It's in the middle. Baldwin will return, gets it back, and there's still 2 minutes left. It's very easy for them. They can even knock out still here.
Yes. They definitely can, as long as they hold their ground here and just take more space away from them. That's what Baldwin was able to pull off at the beginning of the game. And your Snipesly, I'm not sure if that splashdown from Rusty was going to be worth it here because it was just so far away from the zone and so far away from any targets. But even still, your Snipesly is able to keep up the tempo, throw those strikes in, flip the zone once again. That's a Rusty versus Term duel that is immediately called off. Zone's back into neutral here. It's red versus green. It's mostly green, it's mostly red. The tables are turning in a dime. 1 down on each side, now 2 down on Baldwin. 10 feet 20 is out of position. They're being spotted out by Rusty and forced to jump back to Term. Jason's trying to move in, but the zone is still capped. The zone is in neutral and has been flipped by Baldwin.
The aggression on both of these teams, like, you know how at the beginning of our first game I said, like, it could literally go either way, and I meant that. And they're still showing and bringing that same energy to this second match. Like, we have a minute left, and your Snipesly is getting wiped and being pushed back into their base. And Baldwin will return, has a chance to win, but like I just said, there's only a minute left, and your Snipesly could sneak back in. All they right need is, look, they have 2 specials online. That strikes to push into that splashdown to get picks. It's just what they need to get in. Let's see if they do it. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? They literally did exactly what I said.
Yep, that is a 2-piece combo meal to be sure. Try strikes and try splashdown. And if anything, it's going to cause Baldwin to push this into overtime. That's like 30-something points worth of penalty and 15 points worth of actual points. And your Snipesly just reflips the zone again. And they've gotten rid of Jason. Getting rid of a bucket that can toss out those strikes is very vital. But right now, there's under 30 seconds left. The zone has gone back to green. We see 10 foot 20 have their bubble here. They do get picked off by Enamel. And IPS and Enamel, that's a lot of paint in your Snipesly's. And the zone, while it is in neutral, it can be recapped in an instant, as seen right now. 10 seconds left on the clock. Baldwin need a miracle if they want to secure this set. Your zone's in neutral. Can they turn this back into green before overtime? It is! Slat! What's gonna happen?
So much stuff happened at once that so they took the zone last second.
Yeah, I think they just did.
Like literally last second. And then wait, so do we have replays? I don't know if we have replays.
I don't know, but I feel like
do we have replays, Ryan? It's okay if we don't. I just need to see that again. So much just happened. I want to analyze it. Actually,
like
that was.
If memory serves, I can conjure like
yeah.
of it. So right
sure,
now,
yeah.
What happened was that Baldwin was getting a lot of solid paint down in. They had the crab, they had the pencil going for them. And then at that point, like, it looked like it was secure, but then at that point, your Snipesly, they had the 2-piece combo. They had that ready to rip. You had Jason throwing out the strikes, and then you had Rusty, who just swam forth into position, popped that tri-splash down, and past that point, it's the 2-piece combo. You get it and you go. And that's your Snipesly tying up the set. And we're taking it all the way to Zone's Hagglefish.
Big fan of Zone's Hagglefish. I play Dapple, and it's one of my best maps. I like to use both sides to get in. I usually go right because not many people think about both of us. Not both of us adjusting our hair.
It's too swept to one side.
Right? That's what I'm saying. And then right here is pissing me off. But it's whatever. We'll always be self-conscious, and it's fine. But not many people expect you to immediately go for that, right? Because you do have to swim up and then jump across, and it's kind of easy to do with Dapple. I also just am completely normal about Dapple dualies. Just ask. Just don't do that right now. We're trying to commentate.
I mean, having that slider could obviously lend itself to really easy zone caps, especially on a zone like Hagglefish. You only kind of have that little bit of a middle thing in the way, but even still, that won't stop the slider. If anything, that won't stop the triple splashdown either. And speaking of triple splashdown, that is what Rusty is still bringing to the table. Once again, no switch-ups unless Term went to another Brella, and I'm still seeing that Sorella logo.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, I feel like this couldn't be a good inkjet map because of those stacks in the middle, like as you can see on the stream here. Like, you can use those as your advantage to, like, same with Crab, like, those are good blocks, like, good areas, good protection. So you can see Baldwin will return in Avengers Doomsday. He does get control of the map in the first 20 seconds, but it is still pretty even. Both sides, nobody's drawn first blood. As I say that, we got 10 foot 20 does go down. But it is one on each side, so it is a pretty still game with Baldwin in control. As I say that, your Snipes League does take over Frostix.
No, they just popped the splashdown and now they're popping the strikes and another grab. How much special charge up does IPS have? Rusty is taking the duel against 10ft20, which they win, and they're probably gonna get this jump onto Term as well. 2 members down on Baldwin, but they're already back thanks to that cooler. Episto has their hammer ready to go. They need to find their opening soon, lest they go down to Rusty or they go down to Comrade as well. So now your Snipes League will be taking the lead, and Baldwin is looking a little bit hesitant to break out. But as soon as I say that, 10ft20 is moving in, charging forward. Speaking of charging forward, what is Rusty up to? They're deep into the backline of Baldwin, staying undercover. They have their splashdown ready to rip in case of anyone, but they get spotted out by Episto. That could be the biff that Baldwin needs to flip this one and get their hold going.
Absolutely, Frostix. I mean, like that hammer throw didn't get any picks, but it did give them a lot of space to push forward. And honestly, sometimes that's all you need is space. Because what in a meta that I feel that I've heard is defined by our main weapons. Look, if you could just get in with your main weapon and get the paint on the ground, you have that space and that extra time to keep the zone. But it wasn't enough. Your Snipes League does get in with them within roughly nine ticks, but does go immediately down 2 and staggers. Whoa.
Yes, and that's a pretty huge stagger for the rest of Baldwin. They have their hammer ready to go, but your Snipes League is definitely wanting to get their zone flipping specials in order. They do have the strikes, and I think if Rusty can get their splashdown ready, and if they can take a little bit more space, and I think getting rid of 10ft20 could be the beginning of that. Rusty trying to find their way forward alongside IPS, who is poised to grab that tent and pop their crab. They're gonna pop it a little bit lower. Rusty's forced to pop their splashdown, not claiming any targets, and going down to 10ft20, who's barreling back towards the steps here, getting rid of Comrade before trading out to Jason. The lead has been taken by Baldwin. It's Episto, Term, and Comrade holding down the line, and now 10ft20 is back into the fold to cause more mayhem. They're in the teens. They could knock this out, Slat.
Absolutely, but the strikes come out to immediately flip the zone. One thing about this map is if you do have strikes, you can easily flip the zone. That is why it is a good special to bring to this map, because you can last second flip it. But it doesn't matter. Baldwin immediately takes it back, and just because they have a penalty doesn't mean squat. There's still 2 minutes left on the board here, and yeah, they're two down, and we've got a crab at the ready, but with, like I said, 1 minute 45 seconds left and the count ticking. If your Snipes League doesn't get a good push going, like we see immediately that hammer like gets another pick immediately. Like if your Snipes League doesn't get it together, Frostix, they could lose this game.
I mean, single digits penalty. They're about to break into single digits of their actual points here. 10ft20 getting rid of Rusty, going down to IPS here. It's down to the wire here, but it still won't matter. And that's Baldwin will return in Avengers Doomsday. I'm pretty sure taking this set in a knockout.
Absolutely, that is what happened, and like I said at the beginning, still both amazing teams that Baldwin won, but you know, your Snipes League made them work for it. Absolutely.
Yes, they I mean, if anything, game 1 was already pretty tense between those two. And even game 2, if anything, actually, your Snipes League able to just edge out there against Baldwin, but then immediately snatching it back here. And I think what really sold it for Baldwin's team was just the fact that they were holding them out. You just had the Decapitator wreaking havoc in there, assisted by Term on the Cerebral, and I think very, very importantly here, you have this backline, midline duo of Pisto, Comrade on that V-Mini and that Pencil. You have long-range sustained paint with a cooler, and you have short-range sustained paint with a hammer. And that's really solid for like just defending in the event the 10ft20 or Term go down. You have to go through this wall of bullets if you want to touch that zone.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes it's not about the picks you get, it's the space you take with the special. And like I said, I forget who was on that hammer. They weren't getting many picks with it, but every time I would say it was useful. Every time they saw that hammer, they were like, whoa, I don't want to get picked. And they would back up, and it gave them everyone else on the team would take that opportunity and immediately paint that area that they would back out of. So like I said, it's not always about the picks, because main weapons can get the picks, bombs can get the picks, especially at this level. So yeah. Sometimes you don't even need to get the picks.
I mean, yeah, because like if anything, what's the point of picks if you don't have enough space to work with it here? And even when you're trying to pop the splashdown like what Rusty was doing here. It didn't even take a lot of space here, didn't get rid of any targets here, and then it leaves you a little bit vulnerable to go down to something like the Mini, going down to something like the Hammer, going down to a jumping into Cavitator. So when you just control the space, you control the flow. And then when you can control the flow of the game, that's when you can start going for stuff like picks. So Baldwin, very stellar performance here. And unfortunately, this is the end of the road for yours, Snipesley. But really solid show from Enamel, Jasmine, IPS, and Rusty. But that's his Baldwin. Baldwin is moving forward to face El Pollo Loco in quarterfinals.
Oh, excellent. Well, it looks like up next we have Eclipse versus High. Well, hello.
Eclipse and High.
Up next,
hi.
Hello. And we've got everyone's favorite Barnacle and Dime Splat Zones.
Oh. Hey, Sly,
it would be a crime. It would be a... What's up?
Hey,
what
you're seeing that too, right?
Hold on.
You're seeing that
hold
too,
on.
right?
Hold
You're seeing
on.
that too, right?
Okay. Now, do you think if we acknowledge it, if we don't acknowledge it, it will go away?
Yeah, like, it won't see us if
just
we don't
say anything, just don't. Yeah, its vision
like,
is based on a movie.
Acknowledging double W is like acknowledging a T-Rex in Jurassic World, you know? It can't
just
see us
don't,
unless we don't move.
Just don't say the T word. Just don't say the T word either.
Exactly. So, that's still on game 2. We have Zones, Barnacle, and Dime queued up next, and obviously, this one's very primed to be a lockout map. If you can take Stack and then have a really solid control of that and Court, it'll be really hard for the retaking team to try and get back on the zone, because you have to go down a one-way drop, and those can be scary.
You know what I've been saying? It's a crime if we don't play on Barnacle and Dime. And so I've been saying that.
Ooh, why did Slat rhyme?
Because I wanted to. Is that okay? It would be a crime if we didn't play on Barnacle and Dime.
Yes, but I mean, it aside from the fact that it's also a lockout, I think when you're in a really tense, like, aside from like when the game isn't in a lockout state here, when you're in a really back-to-back neutral, I feel like Barnacle can be really fun just going.
I'm gonna be real, your mic cut out. I did not hear you. I don't know why it did that. But we're getting to our first game here with Eclipse versus High. We've got Dark Tetris. I haven't seen Tetris in a while, and we got a Zimmy and an S-Blast on the side of Eclipse as well. And right off the bat, Eclipse hops in and it immediately gets control of the zone. Immediately gets 2 down in that alley and has good control, is about to get their stack. Has a really good, like, hold on heading into their platform already here, Frostix.
Yes, they are trying to get, like, they're getting control of stack as well as Court. Getting rid of the pencil on High is huge for Eclipse here. You have the bucket in the pit as well, and you have High popping a crab. I think there's another crab I heard. Was there another crab? I think it's just the one crab on High, putting the zone into neutral. Yaiba's moving in with this slider, immediately storming stack, flipping the zone for High, and putting 44 penalty onto Eclipse's point value, and taking 2 members down. That's a really solid stagger and a really solid retake from High all around.
Absolutely, and now it's Eclipse's foot turn to be put on the back foot as we see the Sniper trying to get in on the left here. We see Bonk sharking. We're just absolutely waiting to sneak in, which honestly is a good choice. Let's see if it is working. We get 1, we get 2. Can we get a 3rd? Come on. Come on, Bonk. Get that 3rd. Oh, so close. It's still amazing. And we get the lead again. An amazing shark from Bonk.
Yes, you always need to, like, when you have someone like Bonk who is notoriously on that carbon, this time on the V-roller here, you need to be sure that any patch of ink isn't one with a sharking roller in it. Because look at High, they're in the single digits. Bonk's going for 3. Can they go for number 4? I can't tell because I was lagging, but it didn't even matter.
Frostix, did you see that flick? Oh my goodness!
That was a dirty
That was
flick
perfect. That was nasty. Bonk, absolutely the MVP of the end of that game there. Oh my god! Yeah. I could very rarely. I shouldn't say rarely anymore, because actually more recently I've been seeing plays that get my eyes glued to the screen, and I'm absolutely loving it.
I mean, it's never a dull moment It's never a dull moment when the sharking roller goes unnoticed. Carbon flings a big swig even and
Frostix.
not yet. As long as we don't acknowledge it.
Okay. No, you're right. But the elephant, it's right there.
It's never a dull moment when a roller
It needs to be
pops off. Okay, yeah. Let's address the elephant in the room. Double W spot zones. We're going to Wahoo World.
Can't even say its name. Listen, no, okay. Everyone put your pitchforks down. I don't hate Wahoo World. I don't think it's a good comp map. No, listen, hear me out. Specifically because, yes, as a Dapple player, look at this zone.
Yeah.
I can cap that with a Reef Slider. There are multiple ways into zone. There are multiple ways to flank if needed. Wahoo isn't a bad map. All right, get your pitchforks out. Wahoo World isn't a bad comp map. I said it. People need to just... Go ahead, please.
If anything, I remember, like, the last time I was on, I think it was in the Zones stream, I saw this one team that was really, really interesting. They had, like, a tent and, like, a, what's it called, like, incline stringer, and they, like, every time, like, they insisted that they always go to Wahoo World, and every time they were on Wahoo World, they won that. They took control of it here, and enough about that. Let's see what Eclipse and High are bringing to Double W, and 2 down on Eclipse. Bonk's already moving in to potentially get the flank onto that bucket, and you need to look out because there could just be something behind you. And there it is. Oh, there it isn't. Bonk going down even when the bubble is popped.
It's a crazy pick on Bonk. Honestly, a really good pick. We see like I said, Dark Tetris left side. I don't see often, which I love to see a good dually that isn't played often being played. And they're doing a good job with it too. They're getting good job flanking, getting in. As you can see, Yiba has literally like no HP. Yaiba has literally no HP and is just absolutely dodging around and getting picks and keeping the zone from being taken.
I mean, it's a two-sided like frontline offense. You have Bonk unseen, and then you have Yaiba just in your face and all around breaking your ankles here. It's a really solid and really interesting frontline that I haven't really been seeing a lot of. And and High's making it work. They're already in the 20s, pushing into the teens, getting rid is huge because that's a very big painter getting out of the way as they are now in the teens. They're pretty much poised to lock out unless these strikes connect.
And they do, like I said, this is another small zone that it is easy to cheese with specials. We could talk about the arguments for good and bad after. We need to focus on the game now, but I have stuff to say. But we have Bonk on the zone trying to capture it. As High is just absolutely up in their base. Ooh, we see a Booyah Bomb come out to take the zone. Isn't able to do much because this is, I will say, one thing people don't realize with Booyah Bombs is, yes, they are good at capturing the zone, but there are 2 people there to paint over it. It does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you have to like follow that up with something here. Follow that up with the paint of one of your back lines, like the pencil or the splatling, or follow it up with the strikes to really secure some zone paint on. And like right now, the zone's right back into Orange possession here. Bonk's down for the moment. Yaiba's still out there, and here comes the slider. Oh, the bucket able to jump out right in the nick of time, and is able to bring back the strikes here to immediately flip it back.
That jump was insane. No, that was literally had to be literally frame perfect. That, as someone who reef slides, that had to have been frame perfect. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. That was hot. I like that.
Things is still hot right now. High has so much penalty to go through here. They're in the 40s here, trying to push into the 30s. Bonk trying to move in, but they are caught 2v1. And I think Eclipse is starting to learn how to get rid of a Sharker like Bonk here. Fight them unevenly. Make sure they lose in a 2v1. But right now, Sphere going down. Bonk's right back into the play. Here comes the Booyah Bomb. Will there be follow-up from Eclipse? The zone is in neutral, but this paint... Oh, the zone has been flipped still. There's 1 minute, 30 seconds left on the clock. And Eclipse, when they go 2 down to a slider like this, they really... Even still, they have to try and step up their game because they're consistently going 2 down, even 3 down in these situations.
Absolutely, and like with that such a large lead on them, and like about to break through the penalty, time isn't even a situation now. If they don't get that zone as they're trying to do now, they're not going to be able to get the push they need. And like, see, they go 2 down, they barely miss the zone, and with that Frostix, I think that might be a wrap for them.
It definitely looks like it's wraps from there, and it's pretty damn tragic too. They've invented the Booyah Bomb and the Tri-Strikes here. If like that realistically should have flipped the zone, but it just wasn't enough paint here. There still wasn't enough follow-up, just because of how I think staggered Eclipse was against High. And that is I'm pretty sure this is 2-0. There's no going to map number 3. This ends on Wahoo World.
Yeah, and sometimes you just gotta end on Wahoo World. If I make it to the floor for a quick second, since we did end on Wahoo World, I do see the arguments for why it is a good map and why it is a bad map. I feel like I'm gonna stand on a soapbox real quick. Nothing crazy, but I feel like we as commentators a lot just try to like agree, and we need to stop doing that. So I'm gonna stand on my soapbox and say I know the map design in this game is terrible, but we are not going to get better as a Western scene if we just do not play on all the maps.
I mean, that's a good point, because it's like we've been playing on a lot more like maps that we haven't been playing a lot in. I think over the last couple of years, you've been seeing a lot more of Mincemeat. We've been seeing a lot more of I can think of Mincemeat off the top of my head because of watching so much Full Gauntlet, but I think also Brine Water, I'd imagine, and once again Double W.
I agree with everyone that the map design in this game could be way better. But if we want to improve, we need to use what we have. That's the reason the JP scene is so good at this game, is they don't exclude maps from the tournament. They don't exclude Turf War. Listen, we don't need to get into that one. But they don't exclude maps. And maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe there's a reason that the skill level's way higher. Why don't we try? I'm just dropping this here, and people can talk about it.
I mean, it's a very solid point of discussion here, this is totally not meant to like shut you down, Slide it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
We are moving into semifinals here. High is here and is here to stay. Wow. Okay, that's something to start off on. And we're going up against Seed 1. Meet Einhawk auf uns. I'm really trying to like. My German pronunciation isn't that good.
Can we get I was gonna say, can we ask the team, Dryan? Can you ask the team for a pronunciation?
They're going up against Phoenix, Snipes, Gimme, and their fourth, I think, who is a Japanese player. But they're going up against Seed 1. But if anything, High put on a very stellar performance last set here, taking that 2-0 here. They're a team to look out for. And
oh, absolutely.
I think it's probably time to start addressing the, not even the elephant in the room right now. There's a mammoth right now. We got a mammoth right now. Game 1 is going to be, Game 1 we're opening on Marlin zones, and I'm gonna play a little bit of you right now. I wouldn't mind Marlin zones, honestly. It definitely falls a little bit into lockout, especially just because mid kind of becomes completely trivial if a team just controls the propeller and all of your court.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though, like Marlin mid is pretty fine, I'd imagine. Has a lot of high ground for your back lines here. There's enough space to skirmish for your front lines. That's my take.
See, like I said, my opinion on the maps don't change, and I see why, as a scene, we are making these decisions. Like, for Marlin, for example, you drop in, and there's one way out, and that's that stupid fan in the middle. That stupid spinner. And, like, that's dangerous. But also, I've played on Marlin a lot, and here's my defense for it. You could do a lot of stuff with that spinner. When it's up, you can paint the walls and climb up it. It's a lot more versatile than people think. And it's like this, I don't know. The reason we don't talk about it is because we don't watch it. Like, as you can see, we've also got Urchin on here. And, like, Urchin I've heard hasn't been playing much until recently. And I actually like Urchin zones. It's actually one of the Urchin maps I do enjoy.
Yes.
So, like, if everyone could leave this golden paddling pool with a thought in their head, an argument to talk about. I like seeing it. Let's play more maps. Thank you, Dapple. I like that for putting in maps that we don't see often. Yeah. Because it makes us think. So we can adapt. Oh, you can see. Oh, there's Oliver. Oh, he's going to go hang out the window.
Hi, Kitty.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
bye,
going
Gimme.
around, and with that, we're at a little visit by over. We're heading directly into our first game, which actually, just like you, I'm excited to see this Frostix.
Oh, hold
Dapple!
on.
Dapple!
Wait, okay. Okay, this is, I can remember this comp. This was the comp of that one team that, like, really liked going into Wahoo World. They had the 96, they had the Dapple, and they had Inkline Stringer. Monster here isn't on the tents like that one team, but I think just having a bucket with those strikes and that AoE, especially on a map like Marlin, really essential to have. And already, I think that's Phoenix on the 96 immediately popping the back, trying to just halt any progress from Yaiba, trading them out with that back shot. Meanwhile, Bonk trying to seek out Mesmerizer on the fan right now. I think they've already noticed it. And man, what is going on their spinner here? We saw the pencil trying to go up, but they get down. Monster's just pushing forward here. It's 2 down on both sides here. The fights are just kind of taking place on completely different sides of the map.
Absolutely, and oh, we got Bonk coming in, and we don't shy away from Bonk. We keep an eye on Bonk. Oh, Bonk wants to get out, which is fine. Honestly, sorry, how do we pronounce this team? It's Einhawk Offens?
Something like that.
They're doing a really good job on the defense right now. We see the Vac come out from Phoenix. We see the spinner come up with the Tetras, but Phoenix and the Splash were able to just stop and just not let them get through. Although Bonk sneaks in and is starting to get picks, as Bonk does.
Yeah, and they're accompanied by Sphere and Yaiba as well to chase out any would-be flankers right now. And now,
real quick, Frostix.
On the, oh, what's up? I did. If you're talking about the translation, that is there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. They're called the toast to us now. That's the translation. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Oh, Sphere. Oh. Wow. Yo, zoom in. Okay. Very interesting turn of events here. Sphere's crab getting absolutely negated by Phoenix's Vac, and then Monster taking a dip into the Abyss. We see Phoenix going down there. Monster's trying to move in with their bucket. They are a little bit alone, but they do have that cooler thanks to Gimme. But Yaiba's trying to take the dually duel as well. Their slider gets cancelled out by Gimme as well, weaving in and out here. They're trying to move it in on the fan, but I think they are noticed by the pencil. The zone is flipped still by a toast to us. They should be able to break out of their penalty and continue pushing their lead, but the zone's gone back into their control. The leads were very close for so long, Slide.
Absolutely, and with that, a toast to us is hopping on that spinner and immediately going in, trying to stop High from getting in and taking the zone. With 10-6 left, we see the VAC come out. They really just don't want them to get in. We see them desperately trying to, and it's not going to be enough as a toast to us takes our first game here.
So they're the ones taking the Mammoth. They take Marlin, and I will say, Vanilla 96 has been getting a lot of playtime recently here. I think ever since the great VAC resurgence of a couple months ago has been brought into the table, we've been seeing all kinds of VAC, V-Charger, and I think the big one, of course, Vanilla 96. It has variable range, it's a 2-shot weapon, it has the very pivotal VAC special that can just suck up any kind of retake here. You saw what it did against Sphere's Crab, and you've seen what it can do against High's offense here, shutting down the more agile frontliners. Yaiba, Sphere, even Bonk can get slowed down by Inkvac here. And man, I remember maybe dial back the clock maybe like a half a year ago. Every time I'd witness a VAC weapon come up, I'd go like, oh man, it's great to see that VAC stocks may just be up. And yeah, VAC stocks are definitely up. And I feel like I'm facing the consequences of my own actions.
No, I can agree with you, but like something I said earlier that's really been that's stuck with me is this is I forget. I saw a video in the scene recently and it was about talking about the meta, how this is a main weapon meta. So people are really just messing around with sub and special because it really does just add on to their main weapon. It's why 52 Gal, Dynamo, Dreadringer, Dapple, your fast killing weapons are so good is because if you could just get in their face first, they're dead. They're gone, and you could continue painting.
I think it's probably why Custom Blaster is still around here. That's
that's it. And the Blaster specifically V Blast and C Blast are another weapon. It's the perfect example of why it's being used so often.
Yeah.
You just get in. If not two, it is one shot. You can just get in and get picks.
Yeah, because like at that point you rely less on combos and stuff like, you know, the swords here. Stamper kind of relying on combos here. Wiper kind of relying on like using its torp around. But then you see a lot like, I think like Decav is still kind of being like brought into the fold thing. That's a very, very forgiving one-shot hitbox here. Even still, that has combos as well, but it has that one-shot hitbox, and we saw like 10-20 making really good work of that Decavitator. We're right back on Hagglefish zones.
Real quick, think of it this way.
Yeah.
Real quick, think of it this way. If all of your weapons are two shot, only two people have to hit one shot to get a pick. That's why the meta is so strong right now. Exactly. And with so many one shots, if you get like the fall off, somebody else can finish the job. And it's why it's so strong right now. And with that, High immediately takes the zone and goes in with the hammer and is immediately punished for it.
I mean, I will say we're seeing some switch-ups from High for the first time in a bit here. I think that Sphere's on V-Mini and Bonk's on Brush, and Yaiba's slider is immediately sniffed out and snuffed out. 2 members down on High as the rest of A Toast to Us are moving in. And if anything, Snipes, the Mesmerizer on the, that's Incline Stringer, that has a lot of value here. Incline Stringer has good chip damage, good air AoE paint, and it has chumps. And that can allow players like Phoenix and also Gimme on the Dapples just have a lot of more like time working around. Spear's gonna be popping this hammer. We're seeing Gimme go down. The hammer throw is not gonna claim any targets here, but the zone is in neutral and High has purpled it over.
Will say I have a former teammate that plays Stringer, and as a Dapple player, Chomp's Dapple is their best possible outcome, their favorite dream they could ever have. Because it gives them a battlefield to fight in. And basically you have that Dapple, you have that Slosher, and that Gal can all use those chumps to just absolutely, like, any area, like I said about taking space earlier, it is perfect for taking space and making your own battlefield.
Yes, make your own battlefield and control the flow of the game. And speaking of making that battlefield, High has reflipped that zone. Bonk moving in with this Kraken. 2 down on A Toast to Us as the chumps fly in. Now 3 getting rid of Phoenix. And Snipes is able to jump out right in the nick of time. Those chumps won't matter. And that hammer throw also what matters is it's not going to claim any targets here. Unfortunately, that 190 burst bomb won't claim its targets. We're having these strikes ready to go from Monster here. Yaiba is in a bit of a pickle, but they're jumping out. Monster has their strikes primed. The lead has been taken by High. Here comes the Vac, and here comes the strikes. This is their own 3-piece combo as the chumps come out too.
Yeah, and with that, like, they immediately got 2 picks down, and they could stagger them really easily and take the lead back. They just have to play careful. I hear a Kraken come out. We've got a Kraken in zone just trying to take it. We got Bonk over here just trying their best to just get picks. Is not successful, but hey, we got Bonk on, like you said, on the brush instead of the roller. An interesting pick. It looks like it is working to let Bonk be more mobile.
I think not just the mobility here, but I think having the Kraken can be really good for just vac busting right now here. It's kind of immune to that vac,
true.
And then he can just kind of one-shot the vac with its charge like dash, if anything. Yaiba almost has their slider ready to go. They're just getting the paint online, trying to weave in, getting the pick onto Phoenix. Not onto Gimme though, and that miss onto Gimme will allow Gimme to get the pick onto Yaiba. High is still in control and is contesting the zone with Bonk's Kraken, but the zone is in neutral thanks in no part to, I think, to the Stringer as well as the rest of us that are moving in. It is once again yellow. They have the strikes and the Vac ready to go. And there's no Kraken, no hammer. Oh, here comes the hammer that could potentially shut down the Vac. That's a Vac busted, but Sphere has been traded out. Zone is still in neutral, but it's getting painted over by Snipes.
Toast to Us has so much paint control on the map. And, like, as they break penalty here, they have a good chance to take the lead. We see Bonk coming with the Kraken. It won't be enough to take the zone, but maybe it'll be enough to push people back. No, we see Bonk coming around. They do get a pick, but the Gal's waiting there to punish. Let's see if Bonk does get punished. Ooh, but we have a hammer coming in behind, which no one's getting picks, but everyone's stopping each other from getting them.
I mean, is it crazy to say that that hammer throw kind of saved Bonk there by, like, having the pressure of a
Yeah.
hammer throw? But
Absolutely.
even still, there were like 3 members going down on high there, and we're at like 42 seconds left on the clock. A Toast to Us is clearing their penalty points. They're about to hit the single digits here. High needs to consistently win these fights and win this paint war. It doesn't look like they're winning. The zone's staying in neutral for a hot minute right now, and it's right back into the control of A Toast to Us. We've got less than 20 seconds left, Slot.
With that, we see the hammer go out. We see so many specials going back and forth. The Toast to Us is about to take the zone back. And honestly, if they could just hold it here, they could just take the lead. We hear Bonk's Kraken come out. We see a bunch of people going out left and right. Bonk is trying to get pigs on the ball, but instead is trying to desperately get the zone. And with 1 second left, the game goes to A Toast to Us, bringing us to match point.
Yes, and if anything, A Toast to Us, they're really, really making sure that that High is just burning all of their resources in really opportune moments here, because there just wasn't any special that High had. I think they only had that Kraken up here, but then when you have the Kraken, sure, you're invulnerable here, but then you need a lot of follow-up from the rest of your team here. You need to get paint on the ground with other specials here to maybe make good worth of that Kraken. In that if you don't have anything else in a really close moment, hello, other kitty. If you don't have anything else, you're just kind of like a squid out of your own paint. And let's get into urchin zones. We've been seeing a lot more of this recently, actually.
Yes, absolutely, and I've been loving it. Real quick, I do want to say, you mentioned something during that game that I wanted to point out. That I liked what you said, is you said the only reason Bonk was able to get out of that situation was because of the pressure of the hammer throw. And that's another thing I wanted to point out. Something I'm actually trying to do with commentating more, I'll share a little bit behind the scenes, is pointing out what's happening in the game and what the teams are doing better to not only take space, the specials are being used, as we said, the hammer was being used to take space, but also to apply pressure, to stop certain specific plays from the other team from happening. For example, the only reason Bonk was able to really get out of that situation is because the person fighting him saw the hammer and was like, oh shoot, no, and was like, got out of there quick. So like, if you see your friends in a fight, even if you're not gonna hit, just the pressure, the fear of that hammer maybe hitting them might be enough to get them to push, or lock in and like try to double down, which might make them make mistakes.
There's a lot of like what I've been like learning a lot more recently when I do commentary is that there's a lot of small things that normally go unnoticed here, but then when you really kind of like sit down and realize that, wait, maybe they did this because of another reason here. Maybe that hammer throw wasn't entirely a miss. Maybe just the sheer pressure of it would have forced Phoenix to back up here. Maybe something like, how do I say this? The slider, like, how do I say this? Like the slider from someone like Yaiba, it was maybe you stay alive at a moment here, but then you realize that they were caught out of position here, and then they get caught out by the rest of A Toast to Us here. And now I think that's Monster. Is that Monster? I'm not sure, but High is bringing a vanilla Splatling. They're bringing V Heavy into the mix here. That's gonna give them a lot more paint here. Sphere. We're seeing 2 Dapples.
No, but hear me. Yeah. Sorry, I'm completely normal about Dapple delays. I do want to say real quick about that Wave Breaker. I think it's really good actually for the Urchin zone, because if you see those little bumps that go into zone. If you put a Wave Breaker in any of those bumps, well, they don't end up doing it, but like that is a good place for making that zone a volatile place to be in. So normally I wouldn't use Wave Breaker, but honestly I don't blame them for the pick. We see Bonk. Ooh. Quiet Mesmerizer almost jumps up. Ooh, but Bonk also gets picked.
Okay. I mean, when Bonk goes down here, you're losing a lot of forward pressure here. There's only so much that VDapple can do with like its beacons sometimes, and then when A Toast to Us is bringing back the Vac with Monster in tow, that is sure to take space and take some picks as well. Zone has been capped in green, Monster going down and coming to purple. 2 members down on A Toast to Us as High is trying to regain their foothold. Zone is in neutral, and I think the Splatling is getting the paint on the ground necessary for High to get back into control, dropping the Wave Breaker as well.
Not only those little corners, Frostix, behind these walls are another perfect place to throw that Wave Breaker. This is honestly a surprisingly good one. You know, I know Squelcher is bad right now, but what if we brought Squelcher on this? Dually Squelcher with Wave Breaker and Splat Bomb. I could see use.
It definitely does seem like that here, but right now, Toast just went 2 down. I was gonna
Yeah.
say. I think we saw Phoenix trying to get rid of that slider. They go down in that trade here. I think that's Yaiba going down. The Wave Breaker's deployed by the Heavy, potentially just stalling out Monster. Anyone else trying to retake? The Chumps come out from Snipe. Sphere is trying to move in. If anything, High, they're just clearing out these points. They're going into the teens, being stopped at 21, now into the teens. The Heavy has gone down. The Vac has come out. That's 2 members down on High. The Vac shot connecting, getting rid of Sphere as well. I think it's only Yaiba on the field, and they're deep into enemy territory. Meanwhile, Gimmy's trying to look forward, secure some enemy positions, and they scope out the beacon, getting rid of Sphere.
Sorry, I watched that little Dapple encounter in the back left, and Gimme just barely was able to stop the Dapple jump in, and which is giving a Toast to us the ability to keep hold of the zone. We've got Monster trying to hit flicks over this wall. We see Sphere coming up, but this is obviously the perfect moment for Monster to strike. Let's see if we can get another sharking picks. We're trying, is not quite able to. We see Sphere sneaking in. We get the pick, and we're getting closer and closer, but I don't know. If they stagger, they might not be able to hold the zone off for long. Back as Yaiba does reef slide in and take the zone for only a second. Does give them a penalty.
One thing I do definitely want to point out, though, is that I think Toast to Us has been really making sure that whenever Phoenix pops the Vac, they need to have like a body of that variety.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like what you said earlier about using that Kraken to deal with it.
Like,
I mean, they still have it.
Kraken is yeah, the Kraken's just good. It's invulnerable to anything that the Vac brings out here, and that charge dash is able to get rid of it, unless you go down to Snipes on the bow. Really solid shot, getting 2 members down, both Yaiba and Bonk. That's the front line going down, and that's gonna allow a Toast to Us to move in a little bit further. But here comes the Wave Breaker, and Yaiba's in tow with it. It's a 1v3, I think, against Yaiba. They need to wait for the rest of the team off, unless they can somehow manage to break continuous ankles. Here comes the slider, getting rid of Phoenix, getting rid of Sphere, getting rid of Monster. It's only Snipes left, and Yaiba is closing in, but no, Yaiba goes down too.
The amount of back and forth picks we're seeing that is making the zone flip back and forth in this last minute is insane. Like, High really wants to not let this game end, and I don't blame them. With 30 seconds left, if this game ends, they're out, and the run is over. And like we saw earlier, they absolutely swept quarterfinals, so they want to show us, like, hey, we're still in this too. And with 30 seconds left, Frostix, High has the zone. They could keep it.
They have zone. They have cooler. They need some specials online here. But speaking of specials, I think a Toast to Us has just whooped open the 3-piece combo. And even when the Vac gets shut down, without a Vac shot, that could be huge for High. It's back into control for High. Gimmy's on that zone. They go down here. Yaiba's trading out Monster. It's only Snipes, but they get shut down in a 2v1, and that is High saving this set. It's now 2-2-1.
Wow. And I'm glad it's not over yet, because both of these teams have what it takes to show us, like, that, like, hey, we're not out of this yet. And, like, Bonk on that brush is going insane. But, like, we need to see that Kraken being used more on the... Also, here's Oliver.
Hi, other
he
kitty.
wanted to hang out. The Krakens, they need to be using that Kraken to pick that back. Like, you pointed that out. That's such a good... Like, that Vac kept punishing them. And if they saved the Kraken for the Vac, it would be the perfect way to stop it from getting any paint down.
If anything, actually, what I've been noticing a lot more from High is that, like, I already pointed out a lot more things regarding Toast to Us's Vacs here. One is the fact that they kind of have that bodyguard system going with them. Maybe whenever Phoenix pops the Vac, you have Monster waiting with them, or you have you have Gimme waiting with them. But then what High is bringing to the table, you have Sphere on the Dapples trying to blitz down Phoenix the moment they Vac. You of course have Bonk, who's bringing in who's bringing the Kraken, and even Yaiba as well, who is able to just weave their way in and out of enemy fire here, get behind Phoenix here, because, you know, solid melee damage, that's one thing that can get rid of Vac. Stuff like sword, stuff like roller, stuff like Kraken,
Yeah.
but then you can also just get behind it. And what better weapon to get behind you than a dually?
Absolutely, and as a dually player, exactly. specifically Dapples too. Like, if you can, that's my philosophy with Dapple. If they don't see me first, they're dead. If they don't see me first, I win. Like, if I see them first, if I can get there first without them seeing me, I win. Because the time to pick ratio is so quick that, like, it's why it's so good right now. You don't even need to dodge roll into them. Like, the speed at which you could slap, I actually, that's stupid. I call it the hammer. When I drop down off of a ledge and just shoot, because the 3 shots just slap into your enemy. It just immediately it immediately picks them, and it's a really good strategy. And as we see, Gimmy's still on the Dapples. We got the same run on then. Oh, we got the Dapple switched back out for the splash over on High over here. Let's see what happens.
I mean, okay, Sphere going back to Crab, going back to Splash on a map like Inkblot here, really understandable. And then whoa, solid teamwork from Sphere and Yaiba right out the gate, getting rid of Phoenix, and also that's 3. That's wipe off rip from High, and Yaiba and Bonk are moving in together.
Well, like, also Yaiba getting up on that block was pretty funny. I didn't even know you could get up on there. That makes sense. I didn't even know it was paintable. They're doing a great job at holding them off in plat. If they could get someone up in the plat, it would be easier for High to have a better foothold. We have this crab ready, and honestly, this might be a good time to pop it out. As I say that, they quite literally do. The Vac goes out to counter it. Does the crab survive just barely? Like, that Vac was really good time. Had good timing, because it absolutely punched the crab and make it had no use at all.
Actually, if anything, the Vac came out a little bit earlier, but then it was Phoenix was heavily distracted by Yaiba, who was just in their back line. They popped a whole slider to try to get rid of Phoenix in that moment, and it allowed Sphere to kind of fire off uncontested here. I think just getting no shot sucked up by the Vac. But now Bonk has the Kraken ready to go, getting rid of Gimme, and now Phoenix going down to Yaiba, Monster going down to, I think that's Mirage on the pencil here. Gimme has been spotted out by Yaiba once more, and High are right back into control, and they're now bucked up with Soda. But A Toast to Us has their Vac ready to go here, and nothing to stop them.
Absolutely not, and, like, I mean, like we said, that Kraken, oh, we see the Vac come out, and whoa! That was an excellent brief slider cancel on the Vac. The trade does happen, and the Toast to Us does go 3 down, which gives High the opportunity to break through that penalty and get even more points down. What an amazing push! Like, that wasted a lot of specials for the enemy team. That is allowing High to take back control of the zone here for Ostix.
Yeah, like, A Toast to Us opened up the 3-pack of specials here, and High just endured it all. And they have their Crab and Kraken ready to go. And it's only Monster left here. It's in the single digits. Monster's nowhere close to zone. We're going to a Game 5 slot. And, wow.
Oh, sorry, I didn't sleep well, and that lack of energy just hit me. I don't know if, I hope nobody can tell. Everyone probably can, but it's fine. I'm still here. We're still loving it. I am loving the fact that we made it to a match point. Like I said earlier, High took our last set, our quarterfinals, to 0-2. Sorry, 2-0. And now they were going 2-0. They were going 0-2, and we're like, whoa. Guys, literally what just happened? And they brought it back. So now here we are at our match point, which is going to be on my favorite map ever. I love Mini Mori Towers. Hooray!
Wow, yeah. I never once considered Brinewater was just the son of Moray Towers, but you're right. It's just Moray Jr.
Exactly!
Wow, okay,
it's Moray without all the fun stuff on it.
It's Moray just without, like, the very top layer here. You're still going down in the Tetris formation, but, like, it's just Moray.
Yep. It's just Moray. Welcome back, goodbye, Moray Towers. Welcome back, Moray Towers.
One thing that I wanted to point out from the Inkblot game here, we saw less of, I think, like, obviously, High still had to find a way to respond to Phoenix's Vac here, but we saw less of it from Bonk and a lot more of it from Yaiba. And I think it made sense because Yaiba could just weave their way in there with their dodge rolls here, making, like, and then whenever Yaiba was there, breaking their ankles, forcing their attention away from the zone here. And they, like, even when they pop the slider, and when we discovered that Vac can just tank slider damage, even when the Vac shot comes out, that left Phoenix vulnerable just enough for Yaiba to get rid of them. But now we're seeing a little bit of a decrease in our gallons right now. Phoenix is now on the 52.
Another weapon I've been playing more recently to climb an X because of how powerful the weapon is. 52 Gal honestly is a really good pick on this map because you know how I said it was like mini Moray Tower or something? You need a weapon that could just pierce through, and it is a really good spear. I consider Dapple and 52 Gal, I consider our spear weapons. You can use their special to break through defenses, or their main weapon to break through defenses and get through. Like the Killer Whale can be used to take out specific opponents. The Reef Slayer is literally just a big explosion that goes forward. That's spear. It's a jab.
Yeah. One big, like, really big forward spear lancer right now. But right now, a Toast to Us have now taken control of not just the zone, but also the court. But Yaiba's slider has something to say, and it says, goodbye, gimme.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, it kind of went out with a whimper, which happens sometimes as a Reef Slider player. Like, yeah, sometimes it's not about the pick, sometimes it's about the space to take, and you get it. We see the cooler come out here. Toast to Us has a great control of the zone. High really needs to get in and get a grab on the zone. Like, we see Monster coming up, getting picks off the ledge while protecting zone. We've got Phoenix on the Gal, taking space, but does end up going down with 15 ticks left, Frostix. What do they got to do to get in?
They pop the Kraken, but here they need the follow-up. They pop the Crab as well here, and Mirage is on the scene here, and they flip the zone. 70 penalty going to a Toast to Us. Sphere is hungry for more. They're moving into their spawn. They get the pick onto Snipes, and the rest of High are now rallying to them to immediately take more space here. Monster has the strikes ready to go, and that could be huge, but High has Slider, and they also have Crab, which can be good for holding down space. But Yaiba, unfortunately, going down. That's a really solid special to cancel out here as the zone gets flipped immediately back into a Toast to Us favor.
Okay, so I think, like I was saying earlier, that flip should not have happened. A Toast to Us was scattered to a point where literally if any one of them exited their fight, they could have lived and kept the zone. And I feel like that just needed to be pointed out. High took advantage of the scrambled brains of of a Toast to Us. And like, literally both the Slosher and the Gal could have actually, like, as I was watching, I actually got a little, like, I was surprised that they didn't hold on to the zone, Frosted.
I know. It's really intriguing stuff going here, but if anything, a Toast to Us are deadly close to knocking things out. They need the paint from Sphere and a slider that the slider came too late. Unfortunately, Yaiba got caught up in some traffic, and because of that, at least there's just not enough paint. There was just not enough paint that close to the end of it, and that is a Toast to Us punching their tickets to finals.
Yeah, and they had a really good, strong showing that match, Frostix. Like that's why I wanted to point out that flip. It shouldn't have happened. But High is actually really good at taking advantage of those situations, and like, I don't want to use the word frustrated, but I was kind of like, what is, like, why aren't you guys turning around and painting the zone? And like, I don't know, they had a solid 5 seconds. So the fact that High was able to get every single member of a Toast to Us for a second to be completely distracted enough to flip the zone, even though they lost, that's kind of impressive. Wake up, Frostix.
Sorry, you caught me. Maybe I think I'm
Good morning.
Starting to succumb right now, but
no, I'll admit I'm taking a nap after this.
We've still got one more set ahead of us. A Toast to Us will return in Paddling Pool Finals, and they're going up against our 6th seed Ice Block Emoji. Can't be a Paddling Pool without your emoji team. Can't be a paddling
pool. Heck yeah, Ice.
Can't be a paddling pool without your. Can't be a paddling pool without your Ice Block, without your emoji team.
No, we just have to have our cameras on screen, and every time we say their name, we just don't say it, and so we do this.
I don't think I can flex my teeth that hard. I'm no Chip Skylark right now. If anything, what we probably the players and what everyone in chat probably needs is just a little break. So don't go anywhere. Get some water, drink some water, and cool off. It could be pretty hot where you are, so don't go anywhere. Paddling Pool 380 will be back in a bit.
Welcome back to Golden Paddling Pool 380. I'm Slatica. I'm here joined by Frostix. What's going on, Frostix?
Hello.
You
We're
got
back.
your little spiel. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's a little spiel. It's not the big one this time, but we're
That
back.
guy.
I've got a big water, and
I actually just finished mine. Drink your water, chat.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that is a huge water.
It's my big water. So
big water.
As I like to say,
oh, what's up?
As I like to say at the end of every stream, if I'm on the end of it, all journeys have its end, and the end is beginning. A Toast to Us has returned, featuring Phoenix, Snipes, not Mirage. It's Phoenix, Snipes, Monster, and Gimme going up against the 6th seed that we haven't seen before, Ice Cube, featuring end-going Ivan 3K and there are 2 other members. I'm not sure if they're Japanese players or not.
And I know it's not till round 4, and we might not get there, but Mako zones. But enough about Mako. We're here on. I'm a big fan of Mako. We can talk about that as we get there. But for now, I think we're on Urchin, and love seeing those dapples. Ooh, is that a Tri-Slosher?
2 of them.
Whoa, 2 Tri-Sloshers and an end zap and a double cooler.
Oh, wait, that's really fascinating here, because Ice Cube doesn't really have anyone that's kind of like like gonna benefit from the QR from Cooler, but I think the rest of their team is probably gonna benefit from like the paint and like the swim speed bonuses here, specifically that 52 here. I think if they're really gonna like pedal all their Cooler buffs towards their 52 and probably also their Zap here, that could be really interesting to see as the zone is back and forth right now, and Pedoru on Ice Cube is just blazing a path for the rest of the cubes to move forward here. The 52 is able to get rid of Gimme, and now they're moving in, trying to get rid of Monster here. Rano's moving in here, trying to get rid of Phoenix. That they do, but meanwhile, Monster's trying to get some paint on the zone. Are they? No! They're not actually going to cap, but they are going to get the pick onto the 52 before finally getting the pick for the rest of a Toast to Us.
Yeah, and it's making sense that ooh, they literally lose control at the last second and barely not make the lead. Ice Cube barely holds on to it. The double cooler comp, I want to come back to that real quick, because what's interesting is, why not just have the other tri-slosher or a different slosher for more aggression? I mean, like we said earlier, we haven't seen them play. Maybe this has just been working for them. I mean, like, as you can see now, it is working as they are having the zone tick down. And we do see Phoenix hop in with the Gal, as we see a Gal fight happening in that corner, as a Toast to Us does take the zone back to break penalty here.
I feel like what they're trying to make work of is like using their shooters as like a really just oppressive front line here, and they're juiced up on Cooler. Pedoru is not just the Cooler bot, they're a Cooler warrior right now, and they're just holding down the line, putting paint on the ground, putting up a lot of solid damage in team fights here. They're dropping down the Cooler for the rest of Ice Cube to get juiced up. Unfortunately, Pedoru is going down. Monster's trying to just take the fight here. One thing I also wanted to notice, Monster isn't on the Cooler 52, they're on the vanilla, not 52. Monster isn't on the Cooler try, they're on the vanilla try with Inkjet, and here comes that Jet right now here. Rondo's not going to be able to secure the pick onto Gimme. The zone was still in Ice Cube's favor, and it's still being painted off by Pedoru as well, as the 52, but the 52 is going down to Phoenix. Pedoru is going to be able to get rid of Gimme, but Phoenix is able to secure the zone for the rest of the Toast to Us.
Yeah, and it really is working, that aggression. Like with halfway through the match, they have a pretty good lead on a Toast to Us, and even though like they're currently in the zone, they're not relenting it to them. Ice Cube is doing a great job at holding the zone in this first matchup.
Right now, though, it's kind of dead even right now, but I think a Toast to Us is trying to edge out right now, going 2 down against Ice Cube right now, but then Phoenix goes down. Monster's trying to secure some paint on the ground as well, but the zone's right back into Ice Cube's favor. Monster's going to be able to get the pick onto Pedoru. That's one Cooler user down. Meanwhile, Rano's moving in, but Monster's getting the pick as well, and they're taking down the Heavy, and now they're finally able to secure that zone really keenly to do so, as Ice Cube are in the teens right now.
Yeah. Something I wanted to point out that you said it was like it was like a stalemate, right? It was like pretty stalemate between them. But technically no. And in fact, Ice Cube was winning because they had control of the zone and everyone was busy. So yes, everyone was at a stalemate but at the fighting, but Ice Cube was taking advantage of that. Sorry for disagreeing with you. I wanted to point that out.
No,
because of the stalemate, Ice Cube was really taking advantage of getting those points ticked down.
Yeah, and then when Ice Cube has a lot of paint-heavy weapons, 52, Zap, Tri-Slosher, V-Heavy, they can just put so much paint on the ground here. And if they... Oh! But right now, a Toast to Us gets not just a wipe, but also the lead. We've been talking a whole lot about Ice Cube and failed to account that a Toast to Us has just gotten a knockout.
Apparently, I think a Toast to Us noticed what we were talking about and took the zone. Because that's all they had to do in that moment was... like paint over the zone, and they did, and I like to see the way they adapt.
Yeah, I think because even still, while Ice Cube has a lot of paint going for them here, a Toast to Us, they still have a little bit more of that aggression to them, a little bit more of that disruptive power here. When you have Monster on the vanilla try, because I feel like the vanilla tri-slosher is a lot more poised for disruption and just holding down the line. It has Toxic Mist to slow down choke points. It has Inkjet to kind of wear off, to kind of like scare off retakes because of just how much firepower and presence it brings. And then you also just have Gimme zipping around the field, dropping coolers, dropping beacons, getting the rest of a Toast to Us back on the field in time to respond to all this paint coming out from Ice Cube. They took they came. Remember, A Toast to Us came out of that 2-2 for a reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, like I feel like the other try actually might have been better there for a more aggressive play on the side of Ice Cube. I feel like they actually might have been able to hold off better and longer if they had another aggressive player instead of relying on double cooler for their shots. That's what was bothering me, is why rely on 2 weapons when you can rely on more.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's more so because you have. I think you'd have. See, I'd say like you have Rano in the back here when you have Padoru going in the front, but they both went up. You saw Rano go up with. You got Rano on Ice Cube. They go up with their Tri-Slosher. You have Padoru on Ice Cube. They go up as well here. They're just sending it all the way in. They have. I understand the strategy, but then when you have maybe a more aggressive leaning team, like just with their main weapons alone, like we were saying earlier, in the hands of A Toast to Us here, what will you do?
Yeah.
You bring out the leader, apparently.
What the heck? What? Ivan won the E-Leader, and we still have the double cooler. Instead of the Hydra, we're trying for more of a direct one-snap approach.
But
okay, I see that. I don't see the vision still. I have to be blunt. I hate to say it, but I don't see the vision here.
If anything, Ice Cube, they're kind of a little scattered right now. You have Padoru on A Toast to Us stack. Meanwhile, the rest of Ice Cube are retaking that zone. But Padoru's slippery. From what we've seen of them on Urchin, they are slippery as they can be here. They're still staying alive, dropping the cooler down. 2 members down on A Toast to Us. The whales come out here. They take care of Phoenix on sack and send them back to spawn here. Monster's going to be able to get rid of Rano, trying to barrel forward onto zone, but they're spotted by Padoru and by Ivan, and also by B52 on Ice Cube. The lead is now in Ice Cube's hands, but they got to get rid of these chumps if they want to at least get some more paint in mid for them.
Absolutely, and Ivan, like I said with the Wavebreaker earlier, there's like, I know people don't like it, and I also don't, but playing in Salmon Run and in other games that we don't want to spoil, that actually is hard to pay attention to when you're in a fight. The wave on the ground. And it can really get you. So, I feel like it has its uses. Yes, obviously there are other specials, like, for example, right here on the screen, Killer Whale, used as a great way to displace and push people out. And Chubb's good at taking zone. Like, I love the versatility of the specials in this game. It lets us combo and decide what we want to play with.
Yes. A lot of special combos is what makes Splatoon 3 very pivotal with its special usage. Sets it apart from Splatoon 2 a bit. Ivan has their Wavebreaker ready to roll, but they need the rest of Ice Cube to rally to them, because if anything, A Toast to Us is poised for a knockout, right? Or not a knockout, but a lockout. Rano is in street, and they're trying to get some paint on the floor. The zone's in neutral. It's right back into control of Ice Cube. The Wavebreaker has been dropped. It's only Mesmerizer, aka Snipes, on the field, and they're immediately backing up. They're trying to leverage themselves with these chumps, but the rest of Ice Cube are popping them like pimples right now, and they're already moving forward here, getting rid of Monster here. We're seeing Phoenix still trying to keep up the space alongside Snipes, because the lead is still very, very much in. They need to find their foothold, and they need to hold it really for a longer time than they did last time.
What I don't understand, if we could get a quick overhead view, Atosta has more paint control right now. Why are they not using it to push in? And as I say that, yes, Ice Cube has taken it back, but if you saw, as they took it back, they had way more paint control, and Ice Cube was still in the lead. They just were not pushing forward.
And
with that, Ice Cube is...
I was going to say, I think it could have been they were just waiting for the rest of their team to do so here. They would have, because I think what happened there was a really coordinated effort here. They kind of split up here, but didn't do it unwisely here. They had their targets, and they executed them very quickly here, and they did that effectively. 58 points, 58 penalty to Ice Cube here, allows now A Toast to Us to stay in the game for a little bit longer. They're almost out of their penalty here, and even if they get a little bit more penalty, as we see here, there's still 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock, and I'd say that's ample time for them to get this lead, even if they need to get a knockout.
Gotcha. And yeah, I mean, right now the paint control is pretty even. Both teams are 2 down, and we see the fight happening here in mid. It just, why are we fighting when we're not? There we go. You need to take the zone. Like, I see why you prioritize fights, but also like we need to take the zone in order to win. You guys are in penalty and over 34 points, over 33 points behind.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, a toast to us, it's looking a little bit dire for them even when they're in control because they're a little bit pushed up right now. We're giving Ice Cube a lot of space, and when you give them just a little bit more space into mid, boom, they immediately apply 28 more penalty points to you here. And then I think at this point now, with like 45 seconds left on the clock here, a toast to us may need to go into overtime for this here. And with 2 members down, they seriously need to hold their space because right now the 52 is moving in, Rano's moving in. Rano goes down, but even still, the paint is on the floor, 24 penalty points. And Ice Cube are just playing penalty right now. They're just reapplying that penalty, ensuring that like it's a really, really stellar stall from Ice Cube. And now 20 seconds are left on the clock.
All Ice Cube really needs to do is get rid of one of those coolers and the 52 gal and paint zone with the special and hold. And then if they can hold, they can win. Because they have had good paint control throughout this entire match. And as you can see, they're getting into the zone in the last 5 seconds here. But they're not pushing forward. They're holding. What you should be doing is, yes, they have the zone. Now you need to push forward, not hold the zone. And I know it's because they're afraid of that E-leader. But because of that E-leader, they weren't able to get in. And it gave Ice Cube the chance to retake the zone and take the second game here.
And there it is again, that invisible presence. Even if like, even if maybe
that
like
pressure.
Even if we're still not seeing a lot of like direct picks from Ivan here, the pressure that the scope of an E-leader brings to the table, I think that's the main selling point of why leader is just being used a lot here. It has just so much range. It can sit up like on so much different positions here. Like it can sit so much. It can sit really far away from the fight, but still lend itself and give a lot of pressure here. And then it also leans itself really well to giving information. It has wave breaker here. And then it also sits up on a very high. It usually tends to sit up on like more back end spots where it has a lot of vantage, and it allows like the leader player to like calm information to the rest of the team alongside Wavebreaker, alongside Ink Mine. If you're running like whenever I see leader and custom blaster, I call that the information comp.
No, like that's fair because it literally just tells you where everything is.
Yeah.
Like and. Sometimes that is good to know. Something that has helped me become better as a player is if you actively know where all 8 players are, including yourself, at a given time, you are more likely to succeed as an individual player. And it's been actually helping me grow a lot more.
Information is an underlooked tool. Call back to that knowledge video. Knowledge. So we're here
so people could go look at it.
So here we are on Robo Ramen here. Ivan's still on the leader, but they've taken off the scope this time around. Interesting call. Ooh. Who is flanking on Ice Cube? The 52.
The gal. I mean, let's see what they do. I mean,
the pincer.
And the pincer is crazy, and the Dapple does not have the range to beat the gal here. I know that very well, and Ice Cube does take advantage of this push in order. So I'm glad we pointed that flank because it is the reason why they were able to take the zone here.
Really, really solid positioning there here from the pinch to immediately following up here. We're seeing Snipes getting rid of Rano. That's at least one cooler down here, but then you have that other cooler in Elbow, and you have the 52 and Fedoru moving in here. You have a zap on your snipe right now. What do you do when a zap is on your snipe? And then you have a tri-slosher moving in follow, and then they wipe. And then they wipe, and then Ivan's just on cleanup duty. But now Ivan's moving in as well to put some more pressure now on the front line, on Elbow. Ice Cube are in the 20s. They could knock this out if they keep these positions up.
The scope is still on that E-leader, by the way.
Oh! Okay.
I just noticed that as well. I thought I'd put that out to you. As a toast to us does give Ice Cube a pretty hefty penalty. Last second, which you do hate to see if you're Ice Cube here.
I mean, 69 penalty points with like 3 minutes 20 seconds left on the clock remaining. That's ample time to like keep playing right now. And Ivan continuously applying more shots. Right now, the whales come out from the gal. Ivan's trying to get their sights onto Phoenix here, alongside the 52 is trading them out here. They're winning these fights one by one, but a toast to us have been counting down. They're already halfway through their points. But Ice Cube, they're just continuously winning these fights here, getting these picks, and not just these picks, but also taking this space, because it's only Phoenix right now, and all of mid belongs to Ice Cube.
Absolutely, and with this penalty, like, yeah, it is a bit of a hefty one. But if they can hold it like they did earlier, is it this just about the same amount of time it took to get them to 9 remaining ticks? Like, if they could just hold out just one more time, they could take this game and bring it to a match point.
I mean, look at Rano. I think that was Rano doing, like, taking 3 on their own that may have gone unnoticed here, but that's the wipe for Ice Cube. They're dropping the Wave Breaker in their elbow, forcing them to pop the 2-pack, which gets neutralized by Ice Cube here. That would have been an instant pop. Like, with strikes and chumps, that would have been an instant flip, but then you have Ice Cube. They have the answers.
My apologies earlier, Ice Cube. I didn't know your game. I didn't know what game you were playing. Maybe the double cooler is overlooked right now. I mean, we haven't seen it recently because you haven't really needed it. But, like, sometimes I can see why the aggression is useful. Like, we're seeing it in real time.
I think, if anything, aside from, of course, its cooler special, what's it called? Custom. I'm not sure if it was custom Tri-Slosher, but I think it's like Slosher Deco or Slosh Nouveau. Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, Nouveau.
Tri-Slosher Nouveau it can lean itself to be more aggressive. It has Fizzy Bomb, which allows it to move in. It can provide some good chip damage, and of course, it has a mean AOE to boot. So, like, if you are front-facing a Tri-Slosher, that is 2 sloshes away from being sent back to spawn. So, when you have Rano just moving in, bulldozing enemy backlines, and then you have the rest of the team barreling forward as well. The 52, you have Padoru, and then you have Ivan, just the invisible pressure again. And then that just, it was devastating. So, you get to see your Mako Mart now.
Yeah! Mako Mart, hooray! I love Mako Mart. It is the best map in the game.
Really? Okay. I mean, honestly, it's kind of it's been a very big staple ever since.
I'm a Dapple player.
Ever since what was it? Winter 2017, Winter 2018. I can't remember when it was added in Splatoon 2.
For 2, yeah.
It was added in like the first major update, if I remember correctly. But this could be it if Ice Cube takes this. But a toast to us have endured the storm before. But right now, they need to endure a lot because they just went 3 members down.
Yeah, it's right off the bat in the first, not even 15 seconds, too. And it's giving Ice Cube the ability to, like, look at, like I said, pain control is important. Specifically on this map, but look at the amount of pain control Ice Cube has. And a toast to us is taking the time to spread their pain and get some places in. We see a gal fight happening here. That was a good wall placement on the side of a toast to us there for us 6.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, what 52 is notorious for doing, and it's a personal grievance of mine, is playing Ring Around the Rosie with that wall here. That's what, like, Phoenix is just showing off in spades. And you also said something about spreading out their paint here, and I think that's kind of what a toast to us is making work here. Because what we've seen a lot from Ice Cube is that they work well in numbers. Both of the shooters working together. A shooter and the bucket together here. But then when you're splitting up the attention here, you kind of force these 1v1s, and then to us, they're still winning these. They're able to slowly start winning these individual isolated fights here without any outside help right now here. They're just cleaning up picks from each other here. They're in the lead only by a hair. Actually, yeah, no, they're close to taking this lead, 59 to 57, and they're right back into control.
Ooh, look at this Tri-Slosher flight gets immediately punished alongside with the and Zap immediately getting bullied by Mesmer on the bow, which the penalty does get further down, but it looks like they might get a lose. And that penalty is re-upped. Look, I mean, there's still 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. This is still anybody's game. As you can see, the zone literally just flipped twice, like 5 times in the span of 30 seconds.
Yeah, 5 times is a lot, and still the leads are deadly close. But a toast to us, they look to almost be out of their penalty. They do go 1 down, and without those extra numbers here, Ice Cube once again applying another 22 penalty points onto them. Padoru's trying to play Ring Around the Rosie against that block, but they won't survive. And Phoenix moving in, taking down 2. Is Phoenix going for more? They're setting their sights on Spawn, trying to get rid of 152. No, they lose that fight, trying to escape. The chumps fly out from Snipes as well. It's Gimme, Snipes, and Monster on the field right now, and they need to hold the zone in order to finally take that lead.
A big fan of when people remember if you walk off a ledge, you keep perfect drop shot accuracy. Love it when I see that. Yeah, because if you're not jumping, so you don't lose your accuracy. If you just keep walking, you're gonna fall off the ledge. So seeing people take advantage of that is very nice. And with the wipeout, in order to get back in, like, Atosu didn't get that big of a lead, but like 2 minutes in, it's still anybody's game.
Exactly. And
Sorry, 2 minutes in.
Ice Cube has now broken out of their penalty. They're in the 40 threshold here. They're getting rid of, I think that's Phoenix. But right now, Monster is going for a flank, trying to become their own Rano, as they have now popped the jet. Look out above. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a retake, because not only do they have
it's a monster.
the jet, yeah, you also have the chumps from Snipes here, and that's a solid distraction from Monster as the rest of Atosu move in, and they're in that control. They're almost out of their penalties, almost clearing the teams now in the single digits. They need to hold off these chokes and watch for any flankers. They need to block off any retake if they want to take back this lead.
I will say, you can see both teams really want this win as we're seeing the lead inch closer and closer. We see both teams grabbing for the trophy here. As Toast does get the zone back and even breaks down the penalty more. They do go 3 down, but the zone's still going down!
Oh, the 52 saving it right in the nick of time, and then the rest of Ice Cube are there to flip it back here. 3 members down on Ice Cube, and that's a wipeout for a Toast to Us. 1 clock.
But Toast to Us doesn't want to be out yet. Sorry.
Yes. But they hold the lead. 45 seconds left on the clock. Phoenix has gone unnoticed!
Whoa! A double. Can we get a triple here, Frostix? Oh, we got to jump out.
Can Phoenix go for Rano? No, they go down as well. But even still, consistently going 2 members down. A Toast to Us is finally able to take it back.
And can I just say, this is exactly what we want to see for Golden Paddling Pool Finals. We are brought to a match point. We are shown that both of these teams got what it takes and want to win so badly here, right, Frostix?
We've gone to a best of 5 once before. We're going to do it again. And if anything, I already said it before. I already said it, that A Toast to Us has gone to a Game 5 before and has triumphed. But Ice Cube, they are really good at just stealing momentum away, like in an instant here. But then I think when a lot of that momentum is lost, then that's where A Toast to Us starts to like really start learning and adapting here. I think they've already started to take their fights a lot easier here. They've been isolating the members of Ice Cube, making sure that they don't have that they're cut off from their support networks from the rest of their team here, taking that isolated fights and winning them. We saw that once before we saw that a little bit in Robo Ramen. We saw that a lot more in Mako Mart. We need to probably see a lot more of that in Umami.
This is a crazy match point grand final. Is this our first double zone all day?
What do you mean? Oh, maybe yeah, it has been.
Ours, specifically.
Yeah,
this is our first double zone all day for us. What a map to end on. This will be interesting because both teams are good at capping a zone. Now they have their own, so we might see a lot of one pink, one here.
It already looks like that way. There's 2 members down on both sides. Gimmy's trying to move forward here, but they're being scoped out by Ivan. Pidoru's getting the other zone, but right now, A Toast to Us has so much members on the field. Monster moving in, getting rid of Pidoru. The Tri-Sloshers go down together, but right now, A Toast to Us are moving in, and they finally take first. They get back into control of zone.
And with that, they also take the lead, but do go 2 down, which gives them an opportunity to get in. We see Reno on the Tri-Slosher just jumping in immediately, but it's not enough. Toast to Us is holding the zone strong here, while Ice Cube, whoa, an amazing pick there. 2 picks, can we get a third? Come on, Phoenix. The hold on the zone is really amazing as we see them get the flank here, Frostix as well.
Yeah, Phoenix is burning brightly right now, and if anything, Gimmy's also trying to get a piece of this cake, trying to move in, or probably, if anything, also to stall off the time, keep their attention on them, because look at their score. They're in the 20s now, and they're about to break into 25. They have their cooler ready to go. Monster has gone down, but they're still holding this paint up. I think Ice Cube only has a cooler not a cooler, but a wave breaker ready to drop, but they have dropped in, getting rid of Phoenix, and the zone is in neutral. Will they get this flip here? The Tri-Slashers trading each other again. Padoru is alone in fighting, I think, a 1v3, but Phoenix able to snuff them out again. Rano, that jump is contested. They are able to get the trade and get the flow state, but speaking of flow state, Phoenix is in the zone right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I picked up 52 Gal for the first time the other day and went 18-9 for the first time ever. The gun is literally cheating if you know how to play it. So, Phoenix is taking advantage of this main weapon and absolutely, look at that! Again, another pick! I kind of want to DM Phoenix, ask how many picks they got at the end of this game. I kind of want to know!
Like Phoenix is running laps on them right now. They're just circling mid, getting picks left and right, and now they're going to spawn to cross that checkered flag. They get shut down finally, but if anything, the damage has been dealt. 11 points to go for a Toast to Us. The rest of Ice Cube need to get their ducks in a row if they want to take back this game.
But even as you say that, Mesberg gets an amazing pick over the ledge on Reno and just isn't stopping. They're just staggering and keeping the paint output going more and more, and like, look, they just can't lose control of the zone as they wipe out literally with 6 ticks left.
So now we have 2 minutes left in the game. Ice Cube are finally in a forward position. They have mid, but they're already going one member down, and they're already starting to be choked out by this toxic mist. Monster has equipped the jetpack and is starting to fly forward. We're seeing Gimme trying to test the water, see how far they can push in. No, they go down to the Gal, but here comes Phoenix and here comes Monster once more. That's at least one going down on a Toast to Us. The chumps fly out from snipes. Fedor's trying to hold their ground as I think the no of a Toast to Us are starting to thin.
Yeah, I'd say thin.
Here.
Ice Cube is doing a really good... Yeah. Oh, you cut out. My bad.
Yeah, I think I did cut out
I'm
there.
so sorry.
No,
Oh,
it's
what'd you say?
No, it's all you, man. It's all you.
I just wanted to say Ice Cube was doing a great job at, like, and once they got that good footing, they were able to hold it for a good amount of time, and they still haven't even lost penalty. But as I said that, they get, wow, only 8 points away from taking the lead. And with a minute, that was just 1 minute of gameplay.
I mean, we've got 1 minute left right now, and a Toast to Us are trying to keep them out, because right now, they've got courts, and this is the lockout threshold. And already you've gotten rid of Rano here. The whales come out from the 52. All members of a Toast to Us are still down. The Gal's gone down here. It's 2 members down on Ice Cube here, as now, like, I think Ivan's gone down. 2 members down on a Toast to Us here. And Phoenix is trying to, if anything, they held the line and kept them in their spawn just long enough for them to not touch zone. I think it's safe to say it now, Slat. Your winners.
Should we toast?
Gold.
Should we toast?
Toast? With the water? I mean, I've got a little bit, but a toast to the winners of Golden Paddling Pool 380. A toast to us, Einhawk Alphonse.
Waiting for the camera so we can take a toast. Yeah. We gotta give a toast.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations to Toast to Us and Ice Cube for doing an amazing job.
Electric. That was an electric finals right there. I think
Those games were crazy. Not even just finals, Frostix.
Oh yeah. All the way through. I mean,
every time.
All the way from like the beginning, Baldwin versus yours, Snipesley, to Game 5 of finals. It's been heated.
Absolutely, and with the amount of, like, since quarterfinals, the amount of good plays, the amount of good team play, and just amazing comebacks that we've seen today. Every time I feel like I hop on a set, every time I get on a new tournament, I feel like I'm seeing better and better plays coming from all aspects of this game. And it's just really exciting to see with our scene getting bigger and lands being bigger than ever. But I think with that will wrap up this Golden Paddling Pool 380. Frostix, where could the lovely people find you?
Of course, you guys can find me on my Blue Skies below at frostix.bluesky.social handle. Assuming I haven't cut out. My Twitter is at TK_Frostix. I commentate and show up a lot to the for the Toronto Splatoon scene, and especially so because Get on My Level 2026 is happening in, I think, 2 days, and I will be commentating on the Sunday. So if you are going to Gommel, and if you are going to Gommel, if you're going to be watching and like for majors, look out Sunday. I'm casting, and a certain someone that was streaming this is also casting. So look out for that. Slatka, what about you?
You can find me at Blue Sky, and please keep an eye on it because I was able to fix everything. I'm back on streaming, twitch.tv/Slatica. I'll be streaming later tonight, actually. Also, I'm just going to say this. Keep an eye on my YouTube channel. I have a project coming out soon. And with that, we are going to go raid that SRB2 dude. Everyone go say hello, and then thanks for watching.